experiences were different, and they were all stepping stones to where I am today. But life was completely different with LPN school. I still lived on the ex-in-laws' land. Pretty much just existed inside my home because I never felt when I stepped out of my home that was home. The land was not mine. I sat on my front little step, but that was about it. All 3 kids were still at the house when I started LPN school. Well, backtrack. When I started my core classes for LPN school, I signed my son up for kindergarten. Same day when I called about him for kindergarten, I called about me for college. Because I knew I had to do something. I knew what I was doing was not a long-term solution. I was working at the health department as a peer counselor with breastfeeding moms. I think I made $11 an hour. Only could do between 10 and 20 hours a week as far as like client load and such. On an average, I brought home about $400 a month. Sometimes a little more, but that was kind of $400 to $600 maybe, somewhere in that ballpark. So I just say about 400 was consistent. So I would just start, and I just started taking one class at a time, and I went to a tech school. That was amazing. That was God just loving me. Before that, when I knew something, because there was no way. Post-divorce, I don't receive alimony. We just had child support, and the ex-husband paid a couple little bills, but no support for me. And just note to self, anybody getting divorced, any woman getting divorced that's not really working, it doesn't matter, because I didn't get a lawyer because I was praying for him to come home, and I had no money, and I wasn't going to borrow money from my family, and I couldn't borrow money from anywhere else because I had no credit, because I had no money. So no lawyer, so I didn't have legal advice. I had one friend that's like, oh yeah, if he does this, you'll be fine. That's not true. So get spousal support. I don't know if that's the word. Alimony. Get it, because it's needed. And when I mentioned it to him, when the divorce stuff was happening, the paperwork, he said, yeah, nobody does that anymore. And obviously that's stupid, and that was a lie. But I was in so much pain, and I was so raw, and I was barely breathing. Then I'm like, okay. So anywho, fast forward, LPN school. I was working in the health department, and I was working around other LPNs, and I'm like, I can do what they do. I didn't want to do what they do because their main job is giving children vaccinations, which I do not agree with. But as far as skill set, I can do that. My mom's an RN. She went through the whole process from candy striper back in their day, CNA, LPN, RN. So it's like I've been around them my whole life. And I just remember that. And then I was standing in 6th grade at my daughter's field day. I was standing out there on the field, and the kids were running around with their stuff, and I was standing with some moms, and one of them was talking to the other one about that she was going to college. She was a CNA. She was going to college, and she was getting her LPN at Coastal Pines. And back then it had a different name. I think it was like Ultima Hotep or something like that. And I remember standing there, and I was just listening to these women, and I'm like, well, because before that I had this block on learning, this educational block, and it was from my trauma and the lifestyle that I lived every day, where I didn't feel, obviously worthy, didn't feel good enough, didn't feel barn enough, because if these things were the case, then in my mind, my life would look different, my marriage would look different. So I had built these lies, believed these lies about my intellect and my ability, which was all a lie from the pit of hell. I didn't know it at the time. But anywho, when the ladies were like, oh yeah, I'm going to school Christmas to be an LPN, and I remember it's like that's all it took in my mind, and God's like, just listen. So it's like that was planted, and my thought was, well, they're moms, if they can do it, I can do it. And so I started that process and walked that out. With 3 kids, Kaylee ended up getting her driver's license when I was in the program, but it took a couple years to get my core classes done. So I would just take one class at a time, and I even had to drive from 45 minutes away. Everything was a lot. Some days I would drive 200 something miles in a day just to get children where they need to be, and work and such, and school and such. It was just a lot. But I went through the program. Kaylee got her license, and then everything. That was a big help, because then she could drive her Aviron. So those goals I didn't put on my mirror at the time, because I was still in survival mode. And that was just, it was a lot. But in LPN school, I loved how God put these women around me in my path, my fellow students, that are just beautiful women who are all at different stages of our life. But we would study together. My best friend Triana, love her, miss her so much. Just one of those kindred spirits. Studying, laughing, singing in the elevator, going out to eat. She was just my person in LPN school, and I still just cherish her dearly. And she's doing so well, and she just got her RN, so I'm super excited for her. But our little group, I was the first one to go back for my RN, and then Laura got hers, and Courtney got hers, and Triana got hers, and I'm just so super proud of these women. So fast forward in RN school, different season, different people, all that was different. But I put my goals, because I needed them like right there in front of me. It's like I always would hear about people failing out of nursing school, and I knew that it was a disaster. The program was a lot. There was a lot of dynamics, and there was a lot of personalities, and it was a lot. So by putting these short-term goals, like per semester, per class, I would write it up there, and I would go ahead and write an A, whatever. I got some A's, and not, but enough. And then I would mark them off ahead of time as if they were already done. That manifestation stuff. And I did write my name, Ginger Hunter, RN, and I wrote that on a piece of paper sometimes, and I would just write it out. It's like my brain would be like, oh yeah, that's what we're doing, that's who we are. And do you believe the power of doing that? So write it on my mirror, not that it was magical, but it's so magical. It's so magical, and I love it. So this weekend, I got out my little eyeliner, and again, I don't really wear much makeup. I just never have. My makeup's great. I do a little bit of mascara, a little bit of eyeshadow, once in a while eyeliner, but not really, because I had lost it for a while. But I put just a couple things up there. And I've kept my lactation certification through the years. So it's a CLC, Certified Lactation Counselor, and I've kept that up because I think that's important, and I don't know what door that'll open, but I wanted to keep that up. So I have that. But the next step is called, it's IBCLC, it's your International Board of Lactation Consultants. And that's been a goal of mine for a very long time. It was a goal of mine before LPN school. But But I didn't know, and I remember asking when I was working at the health department, asking my supervisor, how can I do this? What can I do? And she was too busy to help me and to mentor me and to point me in the right direction, which is fine. Which is what that was. So now I have the clinical hours, and there's I need to study, but they have the boards twice a year. So I need to check into that again. And there's some stuff I have to do. It's $1,000. I have to get that done first. And I had researched it about 6 months ago, and I wish I wrote it all down. But I'm like, I'll remember. I didn't remember. I just remember the $1,000. So hopefully, if I go back, maybe it was through some emails that I can find it. So I wrote that on my mirror because I need to just do that. And I don't know. I mean, I would love to work in the hospital in lactation, just part-time or PRN with the mamas. I would love to do that. I thought I was going to work in labor and delivery after I graduated RN school, but it just didn't work out. And I even went and interviewed, and all they had was night shift indefinitely, and I knew that that was not what I needed for my family and for my mental health, because me on night shift doesn't work. When I was younger, that was different, but now it doesn't work, and I feel like I'm hit by a truck, and I physically ache, like my whole body aches. And one night shift takes me at least a day and a half to 2 days afterwards to feel like myself again. Because I did after RN school, before I got hired at my job now, I worked at a nursery, baby nursery, night shift, and it was so hard. It was so hard. But I loved the little babies, and I miss the little babies. I miss them so much. Just loving it, just holding them, and they're so little, and they're just amazing. So I really miss them. But for my IBCLC, I feel like that's been a goal, so I need to do that. I just need to do that. So today, that's one of my goals, is to find out about that, get a game plan, get a study plan. I feel like the test is twice a year. I'll probably miss the spring test because you have to apply way ahead of time. But I could go ahead and get what I need to get, so I can apply in the fall to take it. Okay, so that's on my mirror. And then I have power in my building, because my new building I added to my church this summer still does not have power, and it's been annoying trying to deal with men. And I've had 2 estimates that I feel like is not something I can do to hook the power up. It's not something that, it's just not. So that's lingering out there. And I mean, it's not a big stressor because the building, there's so much work that can be done, but I kind of had shifted my focus away from my building. I'll go ahead and turn it now. And this likes to focus in the truck instead of outside, but anyway. So I have my building power up there because it's a really cool building, and I love when my brain is in that place of creativity of the things I want to do to it. And it's really good emotionally and mentally, and to plan and be excited for. And it's like it's a lot to do, but it's really not a lot to do. It's really not, because I can see it. And once I can see that it's done, it's done. So I do need my friend to come and let's build some more of my deck. My plan is to have a deck going all the way down the side, and then I want to put a roof on it. That just adds space to the inside of the building, but having an outside place to be. So I wrote that on there. So I've got my IBCLC, I've got electricity to my building, then I have a goal weight. And I love my body, and I don't have anything against the weight I'm at. I just want to be more aware of my weight and to do the things I need to do to be the healthiest version of myself. I'm not one to stress about weight gain, weight loss. I love me. I love me. And I'm so thankful for me. So I put that up there. And then I found myself writing him. H-I-M. So, whatever that is, whoever that is, wherever he's at, whatever that looks like, whenever that looks like, I'm okay with. I am. And it's been so long since there's been a him, like a him, like a for real him, that I don't, I've got no idea. I haven't dated since I was 19. I'm 49. That's been many moons ago. And I view dating differently than the world. I feel like friendship is what matters first. To get to know somebody on that intimate level. To not have the physical, emotional chemistry and then see that as something of substance and build from there. So I want to not do that. And also know that God's got all that and he already knows. And I don't know, but he knows. I trust him. So anyway, I really don't fret it. It's all fine. It all works out. Because of course it works out for me. It's just good. So for someone to add to my life, looks that there's space, but no one's missing. They're not. So it's funny. But anyway, him is written up there. Those are the 4 areas that I got. And those are some good goals. And let me, by keeping them right there in front of me, it can keep me reminded. Because there's so many things to do. So many good things to do. And check out. And learn about. And they all take energy. I never really used to understand what that really means. But they all take energy, and when I have a certain amount of energy, I want to put that energy into the correct places. And then like my videos, I didn't put that up there because it's amazing. I love it. I love making videos. I love doing little posts because I've got 2 real YouTube channels and then one it just ended up like a doggy YouTube channel, but I actually had one video, 15,000 views on that channel, which was really fun. But the 2 main ones, one of them about the pets. It's because I love them. I love them so much, and I love to make videos, and I love to watch the videos of the babies. And then the other one, which is what this goes on now, words of wisdom, because they're my words. I put different things on there, mostly that other people write, and I'll screenshot it and I'll stick it with some music, some stuff. And I'll put my words up there, just playing around with that. I think on the doggy one, when I was starting to figure that one out, I did some work with my own voice. So I'm open to that also, but it's just fun, and I would love to get to a place. On my doggy one, I've got like 92, I think, subscribers. I need 500. On this one, I've got 20 something, and I need 500. 50, I got to go live, and that's what I really like to do on here. Is to just process live for whomever, wherever that can stumble upon it. And I see other people's stuff that they make, and they'll do these little clips because a lot of people don't want to listen to like now 20 minutes of me rambling. But that's okay, because they don't have to listen. These are my words, my thoughts. And I actually enjoy this. I enjoy talking about whatever it is, explaining me and my life and my mind and such. And the way I process and view life. So if I enjoy it, that's all that really matters, right? And I feel like it's a safe place. Because it's me and Jesus talking. And then if others stumble upon it to listen to it, that just means it was the timing for that. And I really wish this person was still on. as a place to speak, a place to process. Like I said, I've used to journal, and I would find myself really journaling when life is in crisis, and my life is not in crisis now. So that's not been something that I'm as easily drawn to. But talking, I can talk. I talk better when it's not in, I mean, it hasn't been in that place. Yeah, and sometimes I'm sad, and sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm teary, and I can't really pinpoint it. And usually I'm not. So just knowing all is well. So I bless my children today. I bless my girls and all their endeavors. I bless my beautiful man-child and the beauty that he has in his world. I believe that God's continuing to show up, and where I have lack of experience when it comes to raising a teenage boy, I don't have to have experience because it's the first time I've done this. But my heart's in the right place, and I love him beyond words, and I know that he's okay. He's okay. He is blessed and highly favored, and God has a beautiful calling upon his life. I am so thankful how gifted and talented this kid is, and I know that he's turning 17 soon, but he's still a little boy, and I understand that. And it's amazing how the brain, the frontal lobe, doesn't finish developing till they're 25, I read, which makes sense, which is crazy that up until 25 we make decisions in our life that are life-changing decisions, and our brain hasn't even finished developing. How crazy is that? It's kind of like we shouldn't make any rational decisions until that time, but that's not how life works. We just decide. Some of it's beneficial, some of it's not. Some of it leads us to therapy, and some not, and all is well. So, again, appreciate talking, appreciate whoever listens, and just pray that you have a beautiful day.